Bernard, what are you proposing?
Well, I'm not going to make policy on the hoof here, but what you've got in place as leader of your party is not working. Would you accept that?
No, I think there are issues about standards of behaviour, and I think I reluctantly come to the conclusion that there is an issue with alcohol.
Well, I mean, you're the last person in the room to accept that there's a problem. Why do you think integrity in public life has become such an issue under your premiership?
Well, I think actually the reality is that, you know, I think that people are very, very keen to try to get me off the subjects I want to talk about and to try to focus on me.
So it's all about you?
No, I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk. I've been trying very hard.
Don't you see these failures
throughout this session to talk about the things that I care about.
Now, how much consideration are you giving to the prospect of your resignation?
I'm happy to tell you that I'm getting on with the job that I was elected to do, and that is what I'm going to do.
So all these problems are basically somebody else's fault?
No, I think that I think it was
so who is
one of these people who's left.
Who is responsible? Who should be held accountable?
I am responsible, but I'm also responsible, Bernard, for delivering a huge manifesto commitments that we made in 2019, many of which are now coming through. Hugh asked about what are we doing to make sure that we're taxing electric vehicles properly. There is a colossal body of work that we're engaged on right now. We are uniting and levelling up across the country. We have the biggest programme of infrastructure investment that we've had for 100 years, and I'm going to get on with delivering on the programme that we set out and on the priorities of the people of this country. And I know that there will be plenty of people who, for whatever motive, want to try to throw me off course by turning it into a story about something entirely different. And I think that it would be a fine thing if we focused on the arguments between us that are about policy and about the agenda and what we actually love doing, which is working hard for our constituents and trying to make their lives better. You know, let's talk. I mean, we've had some interesting exchanges about how to control inflation or motor vehicles. Those are the things that people are interested in, and that's what I'm focused on.
Caroline Noakes.
And sexual harassment are about a culture of power. Have you just sat there and told us that alcohol is an excuse?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Is it throwing us off the story by trying to talk about alcohol instead of talking about the culture that has underpinned those behaviours?
Not at all. Not at all. I observe that some people seem to get very drunk, but that in no way minimises the underlying pattern of behaviour.
Well, that's what you've just done.
Exactly. I don't think I vehemently disagree with that.
I hope that you will reflect that in the end we're all dispensable.
Bernard, that is certainly true.
The programmes and the policies of your government and
all flesh is grass.
The welfare of the British people and the security of the nation are indispensable. And if you are becoming an obstruction to the achievement of those aims, I hope you will consider your position.
Of course I will. But I wanted you to know that my job is to get on and deliver on those aims, and that is what I was elected to do.
Will you resign if it is clear that you do not have the confidence of the majority of Conservative MPs?
You're asking me, I love this meeting, but you're asking me again to offer commentary today on political events when I'm here to talk about
I wish you to
policy.
be clear about one thing, that if you have lost the confidence of your MPs, you will not seek a dissolution. You will stand aside and allow a leadership election to take place so the Prime Minister may send for an alternative leader. That's the proper procedure, isn't it?
What I'm going to do is get on with...
No, I need you to answer this question.
Where you're quite right, and where I passionately agree
I need you to answer this question, Prime Minister.
And with you, is that I see absolutely no need
Prime Minister, I'm going to ask you once more.
An election.
If you have lost the confidence of your MPs, and you're required to step down as leader of the Conservative Party, you will not seek to dissolve Parliament.
Well, I think the last thing this country needs, but I'm not going to step down. And the last thing this country needs, frankly, is election.
Because this House,
on the contrary, I think the risk is that people continue to focus on this type of thing, and I think that is a mistake. What we need to do is get on with stable...
How would it help the crisis in Ukraine and the cost of living crisis if we were plunged into a general election that nobody wants?
But this is your fancy. I think it is...
Rule it out.
Of course I rule it out.
You've ruled it out.
The earliest date that I can see for a general election is in 2 years from now, or 2024, I think is the most likely date for the next election. We have a huge amount to deliver. We're going to get on and do it.